Okay, thank you again very much everyone for coming, and also not just only coming, but your enthusiasm to the Dharma or the spiritual is really wonderful. You're all quite young, but to kind of have the joy of the spiritual is wonderful. Generally in the world, you know more than me, but there's so many beautiful things, so many things happening in the world. There's a lot to explore and so many different things. But all those, when you're thinking of this, what is that? Is it like external? It's not really kind of like all is external. That means all the externals of the five senses or six senses. Six senses are like such as the sense of the eye, sense of the ears, and sense of nose, sense of the tongues, sense of the body, sense of the mental status. In all projected is outside, externally. This when you project it to the outside, externally, and we start thinking of that every solution should come to the external levels. That is not always happened, or not really happened. External will not give the total satisfaction, total joy, total happiness, and something that you feel, oh, is so great. Never going to give that. That is not just, I'm saying that, but with all the great thinkers, those scholars, great beings in the past, everybody trying to find the solution of something that gives beautiful meaning in our this spiritual life. Life is not forever here, and is just in one way is a short time. But in that is short time, the solution that we start thinking of externally, in ancient time or before, there's no one really got externally thinking of the more you have in a way, more you get worries, anxieties, and as well as also so many challenges, ups and downs. So reality, the peace of the mind, happiness is just become quite small, thin, really happened. This because the chasing kind of solution thinking to external levels. But thinking of the inwardly, like spiritual, this is a solid anchor. When you look into the inwardly kind of more and spiritual or inwardly qualities, and that will anchor ourselves, never going to disappoint it to ourselves. If we really do the correct ways, always give the joy, appreciation, uplifting. Even there's externally so many things are going different ways, but when we have the inner value, inner dignity, inner treasure discovered, life will be very stable, meaningful, and also brings more common sense, more smartness, intelligence, how to handle things well, things there, and then move forward. And always there is bright sunshine, one after another, if we really kind of anchor down ourselves to our inner value, spiritual, that. And that is valuable. You all are really quite interested in all that because you are all young, and now is time to really kind of make right kind of like choice and a right journey in our life. Of course, everyone on the human beings, every human being thinking about make the beautiful. I like to do the correct one, good one, something that most of the time think, even maybe they have some kind of little bit dilemmas and they don't know exactly sure, but the keen interest is like to be joy, happy, something like better and good things. But the reality is not always fulfilling. But when we kind of like relying and explore of the inner value, inner qualities, then always, as I said, really, it always rewarding, never disappointed, and you will become, everyone become quite good and happy, and particularly when you look back to your life, in the, like when you reach to the 30s, the 40s, 50s, looking back to the backward to what we did, what you fulfilled, you will see, you will be happy if we have some good spiritual grounded. And then, of course, there's so many spiritual traditions. There's so many wonderful things, one after another in the world they offer. So many of those great beings left their legacy, the wisdom, and understand that we can follow that. And they left that beautiful things. And in a way, it is open that. But among all that is the Buddhism is one of the beautiful beings. Beautiful, really, wisdom and compassion instructions, how to bring up individuals, their dignity, their quality, and fulfill the goal of one's own, as well as to benefit to the others. Kind of mutual benefit is very balanced, perfectly, and move forward in discovering that. So it's one of the really beautiful. And among in the Buddhism, there is also the gracious teacher. We always call gracious teacher Buddha, who came this world 2000 about 600 years ago and gave the teaching, but without any kind of like expectations or anything really. He freely gave his realization. He shared it to everyone with love and kindness and compassion. So always kind and compassion and the loving kindness never be shaken by. And also never be, Buddha was self-important, self-centered mind, only helping to the other beings. And then not just only he said, I'm the helping and I did, but he practiced and meditated. Even according to Buddhism, he is the Buddha, fully awakened one. There is nothing higher realization, achievement you can get than the Buddha. But even though he practiced and meditated, he teach with all those monks, male and females, and together what he taught, do together with the monks and nuns. Nuns go to the city, get food 1 meal a day, and come back to the retreat cabins, ashrams, and meditate the practices. Follow exactly what he said, what he taught, he did too. He's not acting different things and let all the followers or the students do something different. He really acted that. So therefore, we called his name always the gracious teacher. That he's so kind, so wise, so smart, so balanced, so perfect. Every time he taught. So this Buddha taught. He got the enlightenment according to his story at age 35, and then he continued giving the teaching until he entered Mahaparinirvana. We call Mahaparinirvana, or we can call he passed away at age 81. He announced it. Before he is going to enter the Mahaparinirvana, he was going to pass, he announced that he is going to now leave that. So until that, he gave so many different teachings. Those all teachings are practiced and maintained by many Buddhist countries that you all know. And those are majorly kind of modern time, they divide at two southern schools and northern schools. Southern schools of Buddhism such as Sri Lanka, Burma, and Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, all those are mainly kind of called southern schools of Buddhism. And northern schools of the Buddhism are such as Tibetan, Mongolia, China, and then as well as also, of course, is not exactly northern, but Japan and Korea. All those are to be as the Buddhist country. Before used to be majority is Buddhist countries. So those are called northern schools. And those are all practice basically the same. And the loving kindness, compare your best upon, and then meditating and the release of the grasping and the duality conceptions. And then discover the innate nature of one's own mind, one's own nature of the mind. So those are how really they followed. Among all those teachings, then known as the Dzogchen teaching. Dzogchen teaching is considered, or in the Buddha teaching, is the mostly powerful, the mostly ultimate teachings that can be given by the Buddhas. There's nothing higher, deeper, more simple, more direct teaching than the Dzogchen teachings. And that is then the what gracious teacher Buddha gave that. So we told a little bit about the Dzogchen today. And the Dzogchen is, of course, the teaching came to Tibet in the 8th century. In the 8th century, generally Buddhism came to Tibet. All Buddhism came to Tibet in the 8th century, and around the mid-8th century, and to the mid-9th century, really almost all Buddhism came to Tibet. That means from the Buddha's teaching, day one teaching of his Four Noble Truth teaching, that is final teachings of the Dzogchen teaching, all that is brought and translated and taught and practiced in Tibet in a short period. And that time, so many of those great Tibetan practitioners also achieved the realizations and good God fulfillment. There's so many beings who are listed as like fully accomplished masters, practitioners. Really, so many came those times. So this is and then that continued until now. So this is the kind of in a brief history. And now we told a little bit about the Dzogchen. So now we're talking about Dzogchen. What the Dzogchen, when you going to give the introduction of the Dzogchen taught as like called ground Dzogchen, path Dzogchen, and achievement Dzogchen. So those are three words: ground, G-R-O-U-N-D, ground Dzogchen, and then path, P-A-T-H, path Dzogchen, and then result Dzogchen, or the fruit as a fruit Dzogchen. So those are three Dzogchens. The first is, what is ground Dzogchen? Ground Dzogchen is the basic nature of every living being. There is no difference between anyone. Everyone has ground Dzogchen nature. Everyone. That means what? including animals. Every living being, they inherited the basic nature of the Dzogchen. What is that nature? That nature is the essence of the original undiluted quality of the consciousness or mind. So that means in Buddhism, animals has consciousness too. Every living being has the same consciousness, or whatever we name. They have same thing. There's no difference. Whether you're big as an elephant, whether you're small as an ant, A-N-T, ant, or even smaller, basic nature is equal to every living being. Every living being. Whether you see, whether you don't see, whether you can detectable, whether undetectable. If there is beings, they have the same potential, nature, as I do, as you do. There's no difference at all. How that nature is? That nature is said it has three beautiful qualities. It's quality of the emptiness, quality of the vitality, and quality of the sparking. These three nature, they are all together. They cannot be divided three different locations, three different ways. Undividable, undestructible, unbreakable, unchangeable, everyone has that same nature. If I use the word like nucleus, the quantum nucleus, that every living being possesses it, same thing. That's the basic nature, basic ground, basic goodness, basic Dzogchen. In that level, we all are equal. That means we are all equal with the Buddha, enlightened beings. And we are as like sentient beings, or we're beings, human beings, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas in the Buddhism we call, the great Arhatas, regular persons, no difference at all, same qualities, same nature. So that is called basic ground Dzogchen. Ground Dzogchen. Why is it called ground? Because it is ground or foundation of all the things we experience, we go through. Everything we experience, we're going through, we see, we reflect it, or we dream. Whatever is all manifested, reflected from that indestructible basic ground natures. That is known, as I said, ground Dzogchen. And that levels, same. Because of this nature, because of this potential, because of this really goodness, we can improve. It is like our dream, vision to wake up these qualities. In a way, this ground, this potential is waiting us, waiting you all to bring up. Bring up. Not let just stay as that. Bring up. We can improve. And that is who proved. They proved that, for example, such as Bodhisattvas, great Arhatas in Buddhism, great those sages, saints, according to Buddhism, they improved. Reality, these saints, sages, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, we have the same nature, same potentials. They don't have any extra things than we don't have. Or we are not missing something they have. No. Same. If we make ourselves with the right tools, right ways, that lined up according to that nature, we can improve. Not we can improve, definitely improve. Prove, and we will grow and develop. And we expand. The capability of the potential of the Dzogchen is limitless, boundless. There is no limit. You can bloom, you can grow, develop. In order to develop that, in the Dzogchen teaching, often said, Path Dzogchen, as I said. P-A-T-H, Path Dzogchen. Path Dzogchen means you're going to apply according to instruction, teaching. And how that actually, both we're going to discover the innate nature or plain, simple nature of our mind. Our own mind, your own mind. How? Discover the innate nature. Through the teaching, through your studying, contemplating, discovering that innate nature. Then we should apply meditation, follow the path. Meditation is following the path. You're maintaining, keeping up that quality, exactly as it discovered. So now talking about the mind, I think basic Dzogchen, ground Dzogchen, we discussed. Now Wu, that is called Path Dzogchen, is divided into two or three groups. The Wu, and then Path, and then Wu, application, and a result. Those are three. And now we means we're going to discover exactly how mind is. Because this ground, though, we're talking of the potential. Not in other words, this I'm sure you know already, but this is mind. Our mind is really the ground. But this mind is the also source of everything. It does. So now we look into the mind, how the mind is. And mind is, we all have the mind. There is no difference. Everyone has mind. But how that mind is. In the Dzogchen teaching or in the Buddhism teaching, always said, mind is emptiness. Mind is emptiness. So that means, for example, our mind, when you look to your own mind now, present mind, when you look into where is your mind, or where is my present mind, and we look to the mind, we're not going to find the present mind. There is no history you found the mind. There is nothing really found. This is not just a saying by the teaching saying that, but you can check yourself. Where is my mind? Where is actually also now? Nowness mind. Sometimes called the nowness mind. Where is now? What is in the now? Can we find anything that we can grab as now? There's no, really, also we can't find even now, we can't find now mind. Nothing. And now means generally present, kind of something stable, staying. But reality, the conceptual level, Now is instant. It's changing. It's just fractions of the time or seconds, or even more than second. It's really moving, changing instantly. So now can't pinpoint now. When there is no now, how we can find the past? Past. Of course, imagination we think, oh, past something. But what is really past? What is really future then, if there is no now? So the past and present and the future all also illusions. Similarly, mind, present our mind. Even though we have the mind, but reality, we cannot pinpoint the mind. Therefore, it's called emptiness. Not just also this like emptiness, but all our perceiving things. When we look, when we see things, who is said that I saw, I see? Who is that seer? And who is that hearer? Who is that smeller? Who is that taster? Who is that toucher or touch, feeling? And then mind. There's nothing solid answers. It's all baseless in a way. We named those are in illusion levels. There's nothing existing. So all that, therefore, mind is emptiness. And so when we discover that nature, that is known as, we discovered that nature of the mind with your valid cognitions. You discovered your nature. It's not just the Buddha said or somebody said we believe in that, but now really you touch the base. You discovered your own. So there is nothing that we can name. And that is known as a really view. So now we're going to maintain that. Maintain that. And those are to maintain that is then in Buddhism, in the Dzogchen teaching, always we start with the good motivation, good intentions. Those are with the joy, the appreciation, and Bodhichitta, loving kindness, the compassionate thought for all living beings. Really wish good things to every living being, everyone's, and then may I have able to actualize the realization so in order to benefit of all living beings. Really tremendous, like kind of those kindness, compassionate thought, and at the same time respect and appreciation to Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, enlightened beings. Kind of start with that. Even those are so important in Buddhism, in Mahayana Buddhism, Dzogchen teaching, reality level is all emptiness. There's no substantial solid that exists at all. But yet, even though it's not existing, we bring up those all beautiful kind of intelligent thought, and then relax. Relax with good postures, and then meditate. Then this meditation start with such as mindful meditation, and as well as then shamatha. Mindfulness is shamatha meditation too. Shamatha meditation and then Dzogchen meditation. Relax and looking to the nature of mind by your mind. Looking, so that means you're looking inwardly to your own innate nature of the mind. When you look to the innate nature of your own mind, there's nothing we can find colorful or kind of something fascinating, but we find a profound, peaceful calmness and relaxing in that status. Sit so for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you have time. During that time, although mind will not going to stay exactly as you started, it will move, but don't try not follow after those thoughts, consumption, and relax, and coming back to exactly as you started, and do that again and again is called the practices. And the end of those practices, and then meditation, and then again generating more beautiful attitude, beautiful thought, which my meditation and practice benefit for all living beings. And may I also actualize my true nature exactly as it is, in order to benefit to every living being. Really, which sincerely from the heart and wish those things, or do some short prayers that taught in the teaching. Those are the words are blessed by the great enlightened beings. So chant those prayers, but not just the chanting, we kind of put your mind with the meaning of those prayers and dedicate the merit with aspirations and wish good things. Aspiration means you're wishing good things to yourself, to your family members, for all the living beings. From now until everyone is reached their original potential enlightenment status. Wishing that, and that is known as the practicing Dzogchen or practicing Dharma, and that's my brief talk about that. And then thank you everyone. Okay, thank you. If you have now some questions, I'm very kind of happy or trying to answer those.
Anyone have a question?
Okay. Okay, no question? Yeah.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Yeah.
Earlier today, we were talking about Nundro, and it was mentioned that there are Dzogchen Nundro practices. I was wondering if you could share what any of those might be.
Dzogchen Ngondro.
Yeah.
Or Ngondro.
Yeah.
Ngondro is the foundation practices. And also it encompasses the Dzogchen, all the Buddha teachings. Teaching, as I said, like, and Buddha gave the teaching age 35 until he become, until he entered the Mahaparinirvana. There is so many teachings. Those are teachings are known as the Vinaya teaching, Sutra teaching, Abhidhamma teaching, Tantra teachings, and then Dzogchen teachings, all those teachings. So now to kind of summarize all those teachings together as to practice, then that is a Ngondro practices. Ngondro practices, and it is the essence and condensed meaning of the entire Buddha teachings. That is called Ngondro practices. And that is also Dzogchen meditation practices. And Dzogchen started in the teaching said, Dzogchen realization will come by three things. First is your or individual's joyful effort and their courage and commitment, willingness, and that's the one. Second is Bodhichitta, and thinking of all living beings, Bodhichitta. Third is called very close connection to the Buddha Dharma Sangha, or the many times called devotions. So these three, when you have the three qualities, then Dzogchen realization comes quite easily. Otherwise, like Dzogchen is, even though it's our own nature, but sometimes it's really difficult to kind of get in fully developed understanding. So therefore, these three are very important, and that is the Ngondro practice. And each of those Ngondro practices, and you meditate. You meditate in a Dzogchen status as long as you have time. And then particularly there's Guru Yoga practices when you receive the practice of Guru Yoga and then meditate and receiving blessings and then meditate on that nature status is really Dzogchen meditation. So therefore, often in the teaching said it will speed up the realization of the Dzogchen by Ngondro practices.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you. Yes.
Hi, thank you, Rinpoche. I guess I was thinking that maybe politics is something that can, like world politics and government is something that can bring a person into like the external, and maybe it's not always good for one's own personal peace, but there are opportunities in politics, there are opportunities in politics to clothe people or bring food to people or stop a war. So I guess I'm wondering, like, is there a relationship between maybe a spiritual teacher and like worldly politics or involvement in government?
Those, I think I understand what you're talking, and helping to the other beings and in the war times, all the troubled times, such as bring food to the other places, and or bring food or medicines, assistance, anything you can do, or to the others, without too much like violence or too much like kind of like competitions or something. And then I think it's really wonderful, helping, supporting to the people through the food or shelter or anything you can help to the others. That is excellent, I think. And I, again, I say that through Dharma level to helping to other beings without too much, what's called, too much emotions involved, too much emotion involved, and helping and supporting to the beings, or to try to stop the wars, or to trouble challenges. And then I think it's really wonderful if you have that capabilities, and it's excellent. And it is a Dharma. It is a Dharma because in Buddhism, what is called 6 paramatas. 6 paramatas, I don't know you heard that name, 6 paramatas. And the first 3 paramatas, generosity paramatam, morality paramatas, patience paramatas. Those are more engaged to the external level to support and help that. Generosity is that with the generosity, you perform the generosity or giving someone with the love and kindness and compassion. Really to do with that, if anything you can help it to the others. And that is also then if you can do deep down without too much expectations, kind of. Just really wish, support and help in that without expectations, and whatever you can give generosity. Generosity is not just only materials. Generosity of the words of wisdoms. Generosity of the protections. Support and helping, those all known as generosity, something that we based upon compassion and loving kindness, also wisdoms, and then performing those generosity practices, doing that. And then when you do those things, and then always in the Buddhism, the morality is so important. When you do deep generosity, anything that with respectful, with calm and peaceful, and we always the politeness, and so gentle, peaceful, respectful way, and helping, supporting that. Even they now kind of know, when you have so beautiful attitude, thought, helping to the others, but maybe they didn't really kind of act that way to you, but not tight, not bold, not upset, but genuinely love and compassion, and helping, support those are known as the beautiful conduct, beautiful moralities. And then, of course, the passion is always needed. The passion is the courage and the confidence, commitment. When you perform the beneficial activity, helping to others, always not easy, not always goes smooth exactly as you started that. And again, kind of more courage, more strong, not bored, not tired, and with joy and think of the beautiful goal and the wish, intention you have, that is what it counts. So therefore, is helping and supporting to in a general, in a world, difficult times or whenever that is happening, but even not in the world difficult times, in a general way, wherever you can do those good things, even the smallest way, it is really important. With the intention of the good heart, if we perform that counts, and that is excellent.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Yeah.
In this path, how is awakening so swift, so accelerated, in other Buddhist traditions it takes many, many lifetimes, but in this path it is said it is possible in one lifetime. How is it possible?
Again, what?
In this path, it's said to be very swift, the result.
Mm-hmm.
And in other Buddhist path, it says to take many, many lifetimes. What is it about this particular path?
Okay. Because, according to teaching, this Dzogchen is really the inner Buddha. So you're directly connected to the inner Buddha, not going out the skirt of the Buddha, and you're heading to the bull's eye of the Buddha, your own nature, the Buddha who is residing in your nature or in your mind, or in the Buddhism called always in the heart, and now you're really discovering, knocking to that Buddha. So therefore, and then with the courage, with the confidence, with the joy, and with the enthusiasm, then you really discover Buddha within this lifetime. Even you didn't discover whole Buddha this lifetime, but really you discover the kind of a half part of the Buddha this lifetime.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Could you pass it? I think it goes switch or
Thank you so much. I've noticed that when I experience an increase in feelings of love and compassion, often I also notice an increase in feelings of distractedness and selfishness and restlessness. And I'm wondering why that is, and also how to respond to it.
She says when she feels like an increase of love and compassion, often there's also an increase of restlessness and distraction and selfishness, kind of around the same time. Like how to not have it be like that, or what's happening.
Generally, all compassion, loving kindness is is thought. It is the mind. Compassion is the mind, loving kindness is the mind, and restless thought is the mind. And or those agitation or whatever you experience is all mind. Mind, there is not, according to Buddhism, there is not many mind. Each individually has one mind. I have one mind, you have one mind. So all is your mind. And it looks like it's all coming one after another because mind is so energetic, mind is so powerful, mind is sparking so fast. Then even the light really is fast comes. So it looks like appearing that. So, but when that happened, when those things happened, I think best way is not paying the attentions. Pay more attention with your love and compassion, and all others ignore. Don't pay attention. Ever you start thinking, why this is coming? And why all my love and compassion when I'm increasing, and why these other thoughts are coming, that is also your mind. So don't make any comments, don't make any of those analytic things. Rely on one single state of the mind of love and compassion. If it's not helping too much, that those are also kind of coming more, then sometimes in the teaching said you can do deep breathing. Deep breathing, think all those concepts and thoughts, whatever that happened, even if the love and compassion, whatever those thoughts, all together release with the deep breath to the space, and then look to your mind by yourself, and kind of bring up the kind of openness of the mind, and then generating compassion. Compassion, do that again and again without tired and bored, then it really you will become more stable.
Thank you so much.
Okay? Yes. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. My question is about dream yoga, and I'm curious if you could share a little bit more about how to practice dream yoga, and if there are certain routines or rituals that you can do before you go to sleep so that in the realm of your dreams you're able to do the yoga meditation practice.
So our question is about dream yoga. And so are there any rituals or routines you can do so that it makes it possible for you to kind of be able to do dream yoga and virtuous activities?
Yes, there is a ritual. Definitely, there are rituals. You follow that, and then you kind of follow those rituals, and then practice. That is really, you can do dream. But generally, the purpose of the dream practices in the Buddhism, why the purpose? Why we're practicing dream yoga? It's called the dream yoga. Why dream yoga is? Because in the Buddhism, the fundamental obstacles to our realization, our joy and peace is grasping, attachment. That to break down, to loosen up of the grasping, clinging, then we do practice dream yoga. Why the dream is? Because in the kind of human mentality, the dream is not kind of, the thing is more kind of soft, more illusion, more kind of like not so true. And this daytime, all these forms, what we see, what we do, and what we think, and all this object is kind of, we think very solid and strong and true. Dream is not true. That's our mentalities. So therefore, dream practicing, discovering the dream yoga, dream, and applying to this day phenomenon. And see, also day phenomena, this is also like dream, to bring that. In reality, in Buddhism, the dream and this what we see is really same. There's nothing difference. Only difference made by the way our habit pattern and grasping, clinging that we made, then it become like kind of like one is like more true and the other is less true. But reality is all same. The looking to the for example, four elements: fire, water, wind, earth. Each of those elements are not completely solid, exactly as we believed. According to Buddhism, they are the heap of the particles. All the particles, they came. And if you go through more and deeper, each particle level is all kind of atoms. And then subtle particles. There's no substantially solid, unchangeable things existing. It's like illusions. And they are also changing. Even though we don't detect this is the moving. But this earth and the fire and the water, everything, there's nothing really permanent. Everything is moving, even we don't detect it. So same as a dream, there's no difference. So to bring that realization, so then we do the dream practices, and those practices are kind of follow the rituals. You receive some instructions, and then with, again, good motivation, good intentions, and brain practice, always see this phenomena, what we are now, is also dream. Is day dream and a night dream, and both. And then when you're going to go to sleep, that is also dream. So whole 24 hours is really similar as a dream state. State is kind of bring those realization and understanding clearly, and that will loosen up our grasping and clinging and helping to bring the realization as it is.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Yes.
Hello, Rinpoche. Thank you for being here. My question, it has to do with some of the suffering of samsara in relation to wealth, money, and resources. Are there any Buddhist teachings that address the management of money, wealth, or just that type of exchange of energy?
Mm-hmm.
Are there any instructions in Buddhism to deal with this kind of wealth, money, or kind of exchange of energy, and how to work with that, this money, wealth, how to work with it better, more according to what Buddha's teachings are?
Mm-hmm. Again, tell me what?
You want to rephrase?
Are there any Buddhist teachings that help us to better or manage our resources and our energy exchange or money in a specific way to help address the suffering? Maybe worrying about basic needs. There are a lot of people who worry about having basic needs met due to lack of resources.
So are there better ways to work with money or resources, wealth, so to reduce suffering?
Mm-hmm.
For example, there's people that have lack of resources.
Mm-hmm.
Buddhist advice or Buddhist teachings on how to better engage money, wealth,
Uh-huh.
resources to lessen suffering.
Okay, in Buddhism, generally not too much emphasize on the money or the wealth, but always in the Buddha teaching mentioned that content, right? Contentment is really so important. Content, and when you have the contentment, then that is rich. The contentment, and but how much we really need, for example, for human being or for life to stay, what we eat, what food we need, and clothes we need, place we need. But for example, we don't. I mean, of course, people have those things, but we don't need so many kind of clothes, so many pots and pans, and so many dishes, and so many cars, and so many houses, and so many televisions, and so many, all those things. In the Buddhism, just what do you see? Buddha has one bowl, and that is really his everything. Not just him, all the monks or the nuns. One bowl, one cloth, or free cloth change, and one cushions. That's it. And then how much you need? You really don't need so many things. But that is, of course, the practitioners. But that's even not that practice as a Buddha, but we don't need so many things. Whatever you have, kind of course, the basic need what we have, then we should be really more happy and content. Content is so special. And if we don't have the contentment, and then that even you have so many things, still you're poor, really poor. And there's a story. Buddha, every time when Buddha and his disciples goes to the city and get the lunch, and many of those Dharma patrons, they offer lunch. And that time that we went, invited by the very wealthy family, Buddha and all his students for the lunch. And then at the end, when they offer the lunch and finish the lunch, and that one who offered that lunch and said to Buddha, great teacher, could you dedicate the merit of this my lunch to offer to you all group, whoever is the poorest person in this country, country, please would you dedicate that to that person. So then Buddha Buddha said yes. So then Buddha now dedicated the merit of that lunch who offered him, dedicated the merit to the king of that country. King of that country. The end, when everything is completed, great teacher, why you dedicate this offering lunch to the king of this country? I told you to dedicate it. Who is the poorest person in this country? Why you did that? He said, our king is always so poor, he never enough. He don't have contentment, and therefore I dedicate it to him. That is the king. That time, one of the famous king called Prasenjita in India, in the northern India, one of the very, according to the teaching, one of the highly civilized country, really country, but this king, he's always a little bit kind of like wanting someone. If you see something, someone has a little more than him or has something beautiful things, then he like to grab that. He like to take that with that. So therefore, content, when lack of the content is always poor. So therefore, the content is really important. And then other things in the Buddhism, or Buddha teaching often said, that if you like to become very wealthy, you should do meritory activities. Merit activity with a good heart, really with the Bodhichitta, and you give some generosity. Even the smallest ones, teas, the coffees, or those poor people needed, and particularly in winter time when they are cold and something kind of really tea and coffee with a good heart, and may I can feed all these poor people by this merit, kind of wishing those things from heart, and even give the smallest things to the individual. It has tremendous power to increase your merit, and which is, maybe I can translate as a luck, your luck and your fortune. It really increases there. Therefore, but there's so many stories in the Buddha's teaching. The small things that you do with a good heart to the right time, to the right person, it has so much benefit, the powers. So therefore, meritory is one of the key tools in the Buddhism to bring the more wealth, more abundances. And then contentment is the very, very powerful. It makes more rich ourselves.
Thank you so much, Rinpoche.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you say a little bit about Vajrasattva? And just I'd like a bit more detail about what that practice is like. Yeah.
Okay, I think I heard Vajrasattva practice in the Mahayana Buddhism. Buddhism is a very powerful, important practices. And Vajrasattva practice is the healing practices. Vajrasattva practice is also purification practices. And is just really powerful practices. And purification practices, for example, when we all individually do mistakes. We did mistakes by our board, physically, verbally, mentally. Then when it is reflected outside, projected outside, it will hurt to someone. And not just only that, also really, even though we projected, we created negative energies in our mind systems, our energy systems. So it is affecting to the where we projected, also is affecting to ourselves. And that is that happened now, but that's not going to go away according to Buddhism. That energy, that shadow will stay a long time, or that stain. And to clear away that is then this Vajrasattva practices. So it's really will purify. It will clean away that. And practice Vajrasattva, visualize and feel the presence of the Buddha Vajrasattva as an embodiment of all Buddha's love and compassion, wisdom and power, and visualize according to the instruction and receiving the blessing nectar, and then clear away all those negative deeds that affect ourselves or that negative activity that affect the others too. All clean away and clear away. So that is like purification ways. And then also is healing practices. We are kind of have all our previous karmas, previous negative energies, something that is really making trouble to us and to our friends, family members. And when we visualize, meditate, the Vajrasattva, it's also really well heal all those things, the emotions, troubles, or physically, mentally, whatever. It really well, according to teaching, it is one of the most powerful meditation and practicing and chant mantras. So this Vajrasattva is very, very special Buddhas. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Yeah.
What do the teachings say about ancestors, especially if some of us feel still close to our ancestors or they appear in our dreams?
Uh-huh.
What do the teachings say about ancestors,
Uh-huh.
especially if we still feel that they feel close to us,
Mm-hmm.
they like appear in our dreams?
Mm-hmm. The ancestors in the teaching say that generally, of course, they're very much connected to us, to the individual. Your ancestors are very much connected to each individual is really very much connected. And then they kind of like also due to their kind of like that attitude or their clinging or their attachment to the family members and to the area or to places, sometimes if they are really strongly kind of attached, that affected also make some kind of like effect or some kind of reactions to the families, that even those ancestors are left long time ago, but still this kind of like their habit pattern or their kind of in the Tibetan, in the Buddhism they call some kind of like energies that really can hang out, that can be sometimes help beneficial, sometimes also very kind of unbeneficial. So it can be both sides. And to do that, to do prayer again, do such as do the ceremony called the smoke ceremonies, or you make some offerings and chant the mantras of our Lokiteshvara, and recite that mantras and really wish to kind of dedicate it. And that when you make that offerings, smoke offerings, that feel the presence of the Chirinzai, our Lokiteshvara, and which is the embodiment of all Buddha's compassion. And while you're making that smoke offerings from Buddhas, emanated so many blessings, lighters, that smoke offering is become the luxurious offerings of the all 5 senses, always 6 senses. So that means the form, sound, smell, touch, taste, touch, and the feelings. And not just only luxurious, but then it's become, by the blessings, it become the wisdom, stainless, pure. It just become total satisfaction, happy, joy, fulfillment. And then you offer that to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, to all the beings of 6 realms. And then those all people are who are in the Pardo, or intermediate states in Buddhism. And then those are ancestors, whoever that really got everything what they wanted, they needed. And they completely become there so happy, calm, peaceful, kind of becomes very, very skilled themselves too, mentally. And then just kind of feel that, have those thoughts and reciting the mantra in the teaching said is very powerful and beneficial. So those practice, such is best upon our Lokiteshvara, Chenezai, or Mani Peme Hoya. Okay, thank you. Okay. Yeah, I think you.
Hello, Khenpo. So I also had a question about Vajrasattva. In the 4 mind trainings, it says that karma is inexorable, and in the foundational school, I believe it doesn't talk about karma as being able to be purified. It has to play out. And so I was wondering how it is that Vajrasattva practice can purify karma.
Again.
Some question about Vajrasattva practice. How can Vajrasattva practice purify karma if, according to foundational Buddhism, karma is inexorable?
Oh, yeah. And this true. This karma is the next step if you don't clean. If you don't purify, karma is really tough. But if you purify, karma is not solid. Karma is illusion. Karma is impermanent. And so if we have the right cause and conditions, then karma can purify that. But if you don't do the karma, if you don't do anything, then karma is really inevitable. Then can come strongly. Therefore, so purifying karma is so important, and Vajrasattva can purify the karmas. Definitely. That is in the Buddha's teaching often said. For example, in Buddhism, that few of you heard, there's a very famous who become arhat afterward. He become really in kind of high realization, but he was known as like one who he killed so many hundred people killed by him. He did so much negativities, but then he feel bad, and he did the right things to purify the karma. He got the really realization, he become the arhata. So there's many examples that even though they did a lot of kind of bad things, and then when you reverse that and put the energy to purify that, then they can get really enlightened. So you can purify the karma. And similarly, I'm sure you heard Milarepa. Milarepa was one of the great yogis, enlightened beings in the Tibetan Buddhist histories, really, within his lifetime. But early his lifetime, when he was young, he kind of caused to die so many peoples, and he did so many kind of the activities that disturbed so many also families too. But then once he realized that what he did, because of his courage and commitment, confidence to the Dharma, he feels so kind of like bad, and then he practiced and meditated, and then followed the instructions of his teacher. Then he became the like great yogi or Siddha Mahasiddha. Really, Milarepa. I mean, this is very famous story. So this is just a story of all that. So when you purify the karma, and when you know, and with your intention, your mind, your joyful effort, all put one together to purify the karma, to do the kind of clear away those obscuration activities, then really it cleans. It clear away that, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone? Yeah.
Hey, Khenpo Rinpoche, thank you so much. I've heard a lot while being here about the mind and the heart. And I was wondering the difference between the two and how to know if it's my heart that wants something or my mind that wants something.
Again, could you tell me?
What's the difference between mind and heart? And how do I know the difference between if it's something that my heart wants for me or my mind wants?
According to Buddhism, heart and mind is different. And according to Buddhism, also heart is resident of the mind. Where is mind? In Buddhism, in the heart, they touch it here. They hardly touch here. Unless you got a headache. Then he said, I got a headache. Yeah. But otherwise, always things. And of course, in the Buddhism, in the Mahayana teaching, the brain is very powerful kind of location for the mind. But really mind residing in Buddhism in the heart. And what is heart? Heart is mass. M-A-S-S, maybe. And mind is not mass. Mind is completely different. And so heart, when we die, we live with this body. But mind, according to Buddhism, when we die, goes. Not died, not with the body. So the mind is not burned by window cremations. Heart is cremated and burned. So heart is formed with the 4 elements. It is in the Buddhism, it is like earth, water, fire, wind, then space. Mind is completely different. And mind goes from life to life. And mind has many names. In English, mind, thought, consciousness. And then maybe you know more than me. I know 3 of them. Mind, consciousness, mind, thought, and then maybe really more. In Tibet, there's so many names. 4 or 5 different names. But reality, referring same mind is not metal, not mass. Mind is mind. Mind is inconceivable. Call it as it carries all the karmas, what we're talking now. Karmas, and it carries all those memories. And it carries all the intelligence. It carries all the emotions, anger, jealous, attachment, and all those emotions, ignorance, and intelligence, wisdom, love, compassion, and loving kindness, all that with mind, yet cannot detect it. Is inconceivable, call it, that we all have that, each of us has. My mind is not same your mind is not same as my mind, others. Everyone is unique. Unique is the own way, but similar qualities. That's really the mind. And if we like to change things, the direction in Buddhism, change from the mind. Change from mind. Mind, when you change, then you can change. And change the correct ones. Mind, nature of the mind, in the Dzogchen teaching says, nature of mind is love. Nature of mind is compassion. Nature of mind is kindness. Nature of mind is wisdoms. So if we kind of line up with that, then it will bring more also joy, happiness, peaceful, and soothing, calming to ourselves as well as others. You feel. And the unnature of the mind is anger, jealous, hated thought, and anxieties, doubt, and hesitation, skepticals, self-blaming, and all those are unnature of the mind. And when the unnature of the mind, when we have those things, it will make ourselves more tired, more bored, more disappointed, and more become really so heavy. And then not just me, that when that happened, and it also that energy goes to the others. They feel unhappy. They feel kind of not comfortable, happy, peaceful then. All start from this mind, emptiness mind. So those are the teachings said. Okay, thank you. Then, yeah, one more. Then we stop. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Hey.
Good afternoon, Rinpoche.
Thank you.
I've been nervous about asking, but I'm interested in doing Nundro. And I was hoping that you would share the Nundro along with us.
Okay, thank you. There's quite a few people mentioned. I will do that. And Nundro, I think I said already, Nundro has a two-part. Nundro has a two-part, and first it's called the general Nundro, and then second is the distinctive Nundro. Nundro, so two-part. And first Nundro, general Nundro, is for thought of the mindfulness practices. And why is it called the general? Because that point is not just a Buddhism, it's just where the samsara or where the world is. So it's nothing really to do with the only Buddhism. Buddhism, what is the 4 point of the mind training or mindfulness? First is precious life. Life is very precious. That is the one point. Second is and second is impermanent. Second is impermanent, and everything is impermanent, and so that is the second. Third is the cause and effect result are inevitable, which is also called the karmas, is inevitable. And the fourth is samsara has a challenge, difficulties. So those are known as poor training of the mind, or poor renunciation, or poor point of the mind, mindfulness. And those are called the general. As I say, the general, why is it called the general? Because this is not just only Buddhism. Not just only Buddhism, life is so precious to everyone, whether you're Buddhist, non-Buddhist, whether you're a believer, non-believer, life is precious to everyone. So that is first. Second is impermanent. And impermanent is here. This is not just only a Buddhism or non-Buddhisms. Whether you believe, not believer, impermanent is part of our lives. And impermanent has two parts. The gross impermanent that we detected, the undetectable impermanent. Gross permanent is, for example, when you say, oh, the pot is broke. P-O-T, pot is broke. We see pot is broke. That is gross impermanent. Or building collapsed. That is gross impermanent. But certain impermanent we don't detect. Right now is happening. Right now, this impermanent is happening with you, with me, with this building, with this everything. It's just moving so fast, faster than roller coasters. And that is not just Buddhism. It is just to everyone. So that is the impermanent. Impermanent. And the third is cause and effect. Or cause and condition, it is effect, inevitable. That is commonly called the karma. Karma. So external things is karma. Inwardly is also karma. Cause and effect, result. There is nothing. Whatever there is a cause and a condition, it brings the similar result. That is the rule. whether externally, internally. It's not just for Buddhism, it's not just for non-Buddhism, it's for all of us. And then samsara has a lot of challenge, or this world has a lot of difficult challenges. So many challenges, really. Nothing is last forever. It's changing. Even we want something, even it looks like that, that changes too. It's just always changing. That's called samsara. Samsara. So those are the common general hundro. Why is Buddha taught that teaching? Because that is the way the nature is, the way the samsara is. And when you have close understanding of this nature, our mind will become more subtle, more tender, more kind of like sensible, more practical, and then we become a little bit more really tender heart. Therefore, the gracious teacher Buddha taught that. So precious life, and so those are. And then now there's then second is then special for the Buddhism, and that is then special hundro or special hundro practice. Those are then started with the refuge. Refuge is for Buddhism. To every Buddhism, you take refuge. Take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. Sangha, and they are the Buddha is who give the teaching, Dharma is Buddha give the teaching, and then Sangha who keep the teaching. Teaching, and there is many Sangha, different levels of Sangha. Some are highly enlightened Sangha, some are beginner Sangha, but nevertheless, the intention or goal is same. They like to get enlightenment, they like to support, they like to improve their each individually. So therefore, called Buddha Dharma Sangha is very important. It's called object of refuges in Buddhism. So that is special. And that is, refuge is for all the same, whether it's Southern Buddhism or Northern Buddhism or whatever Buddhism you are following. Refuge is the same. Now, the next one is Bodhichitta, which is then Mahayana, very specially highlighted by the Mahayana practitioners. Generally, Buddha's teaching is based upon the love and compassion and kindness, but Mahayana emphasized the Bodhichitta. Bodhichitta is compassion and wisdoms. Compassion is projected to all the beings with 6 realms. In order to project and like to help to all sentient beings, then your wisdom is projected to get enlightenment. So the union of the wisdom and the compassion is known as Bodhichitta. And Bodhichitta is a Sanskrit word, and it's translated, if we translate, mind of enlightenment. And that is we increasing. And that started with the wishing. Bodhichitta has wishing Bodhichitta, actualizing Bodhichitta. And wishing Bodhichitta is that we joined, I'm sure you joined the four immeasurables. May all living beings have the happiness and the cause of happiness. That is the loving kindness. May all living beings are free from suffering and the cause of sufferings. That is immeasurable compassion. May all living beings never be disassociated with the supreme happiness. That is joy or rejoice. Rejoice. May all living have the great understanding or realization of the equanimity and free from the attachment and rejections. Rejections. Those are called equanimities. Those are called wishing Bodhichitta. Wishing Bodhichitta and actualizing Bodhichitta, 6 paramata, as I said earlier. 6 paramata, or your performing benefit activated according to your capabilities, according to readiness of the other individuals you're helping. That is with good heart, with the best upon the poor immeasurables. That is wishing Bodhichitta. The next one is mandala offerings. That is Vajrayana teaching now. Vajrayana teaching is also known as teaching of the skillful means. There's many skillful means, but even though it looks like so kind of simple, yet it has so much power to change things. So this mandala offering is accumulated merit. In the Buddhism called Buddha got enlightenment, that he accumulated the merit for 3 countless eons. 3 countless eons. And so he got merit. He actually really did good deeds, so many lifetimes. So this mandala offering is like condensed, skillful means, accumulate the merit. Merit because make offering. We make this symbolic make offering and visualize the entire universe, stars, sun and moon. All that, everything come together, and then we visualize that, make the offering to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, order to benefit for all living beings, or order to accumulate the true merit, or the benefit for all living beings. Kind of wishing that strong in the heart and mind, and really doing the praying and doing those with the mudra, with the gesture, or with the symbolic ritual object, then it accumulates merit. Even though it looks like externally so simple, but it's really, according to teaching, it has so much power to accumulate the merit. When we accumulate the merit, when we do good energies, it will also purify the many negative energies to go away too. So therefore, mandala offering is done. And the fourth one is then the Vajrasattva practice that we discussed just now. And Vajrasattva is not past Buddha or not future Buddha, but is a living Buddha right now. We visualize inviting that, and then visualizing and meditating and reciting mantra and cleansing and purify all that. Then of course all those more details, instructions on the booklet, the Khenpo booklet has that. And the next one is then, what's called this thing? The Guru Yoga. Guru Yoga is a practice of with the devotion and confidence. And the practice generally, when we meditate the practices, what we need confidence. One of the mostly powerful obstacle is doubt and hesitation and skepticals. So when you have the devotion and when you have the kind of confidence, feel the strong presence of the Padma Samye or the Buddha's Bodhichitta, that moment, the doubt and hesitation, skepticals, it goes away. And then what is comes? Confidence, courage, commitment, joy, and appreciation also rise up. And then with that, we meditate the practice of Guru Yoga. Again, of course, there's a big instructions that. And again, it will purify so many obstacles, and accumulate merit. It really will bring the clear understanding of our innate nature of the mind, or Dzogchen realizations. Dzogchen realization, or Dzogchen is our nature of the mind, even though it is so close, it never left us for even 1 second, yet it is difficult to recognize that due to our habit patterns. So therefore, when practice of Guru Yoga and the teachings with confidence, with joy, courage, and commitment, with the feeling closeness feelings, it will dispel darkness of doubt and hesitation and skepticalness, and bring confidence in our lives, our self. It's really so spiritual. So practice that. And along with that, then in Khenpo we do also postration with the refuge or postration. Postration is a symbol of our respect and appreciation. Also, kind of pushing down our arrogance. Our arrogance and neural state thought. So those all is very powerful practice of the Khenpo, which is very special practices, and that is really kind of like about the Khenpo practice. And then I'm going to give the transmission of these two to that, okay? And then so I have some more questions. So. Yeah, then also end, of course, everything is a dedication. Dedicate the merit in the Khenpo practice. There's a dedication, and so beginning as a joy and appreciation with devotion and bodhichitta, and practice, or refuge in Bodhichitta and practice, and dedicate the merit. As I mentioned earlier, the dedication is so important. Concluding our practice with a good heart and wishing good things to everyone. Okay, thank you. Okay, anyone?
Thank you.
That's it. Yes.
Thank you, Rinpoche. How do you know if you want to commit your whole life to the Dharma or just some of your life?
Mm-hmm. Say that again. Whole life.
How do you know if you want to commit your whole life to the Dharma or just some of your life?
This weekend? I think so. This weekend. No, I think so. You do both. You do. I'm saying that give some time to the Dharma and some time to your regular activities. That gradually, if you can, lean to the give to the Dharma. So that means that while you're young, energetic, and all the bright and so good, kind of everything, and take care of your professional jobs a while, well, also do some practices. But when you reach to the third stage of the 50s and the 60s, closer to the retirement, then really spend more time with the Dharma. I think that if you can, then that is really good. Spend more time with Dharma. And there is always a story in the Buddha teaching said, when in the ancient time in the Buddha teaching, in the ancient time, of course, you say India, and in ancient time, those Indian people, they says, now the somebody is calling to me, you're going to come soon to my places. And then some said, what that means somebody is going to invite me soon. And what the sign of that invitation said, that my hair is getting gray and grayer. That is meaning that somebody asked me, you are going to come soon to the other side, and therefore I'm going to spend time to do something for the next purposes. And that is practicing, meditating. That really said in teaching. And then they went to the wood or the jungles and then practiced and meditated and got a lot of realization in the city. So I will say, when you're really kind of close to retiring or before that, then if you can make the time to practice more, is good.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, this one. Yeah, then we stop.
Hi, thank you for everything you shared with us so far. My question is about the concept of like emptiness of mind and also like our identities. And I'm still trying to understand how we can have an emptiness of mind but also have values that can guide us to have like love and compassion. Because when I think of like an identity, I think of values that like make up those things. So I would love to like hear your thoughts about that.
Again, sorry.
The question is about the emptiness of mind and also having like identities, like the values of love and compassion. Like how can we have an emptiness mind, also have these values of love and compassion be a part of the mind?
Yes, I think we can have both very easily. It's already is here, so we don't have to worry. Emptiness of mind is here with you, and the love and compassion also with you, and both are here, so really don't have to be concerned anything that is how I can have. You can have both perfectly, beautifully, and that is called emptiness of mind is love and compassion. Love and compassion is emptiness. And emptiness and love, and compassion and love and emptiness is inseparable. That's true. You think that. That's it. Your love and compassion, if I say, your love and compassion, when you say, I love, I feel compassion, where is that?
Oh, it's a question for me?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Where is that?
Well, yeah, I guess like I feel it like in my heart and also in my mind, but that's why I'm like, I feel full when I have those things and not empty.
I can't hear again. So
She feels it when she has it. She feels it in her heart and her mind.
Mm-hmm.
So she feels full of it, of
Mm-hmm.
love and compassion. So
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't feel empty.
Mm-hmm. But you feel that's true. Is it? When you feel love and compassion, you feel the pull. But then that fullness, the fullness is you feeling that. That is also mind. But where is that? That is really true. Is when you feel love and compassion, you feel full, feel happy, all that. But then we're trying to get like tangible kind of like answer. So where is that? Then is really, and in the teaching it said it's empty. So therefore, like what's called the emptiness and the compassion are inseparable. Love is love and compassion is emptiness. Emptiness and love, emptiness and compassion is compassion and love is emptiness. Love and compassion. Now I'm mixing up. No. Compassion and love is emptiness. Emptiness is love and compassion. Thank you. really
Thank
true.
you.
That's really in that. I mean, it's true. We can't see any. We can. And similarly, not just the love and compassion. All love and compassion is energy of that emptiness mind. Energy. And that love and compassion is not just only the energy. The mind has so many energies. The anger and the jealousy, hatred thoughts, all those worries are energy. But then they are, if you look, they're empty. There's no solid. Same as love and compassion. There's no really different compartment in the mind. Oh, this compartment has love and compassion. This side has anger and all those like emotions, all that. No, it's all is that. Same places. So therefore, it is just like unbelievable natural status. But so that's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, one more then. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rinpoche. As someone who's interested in beginning Nandro and starting the preliminary practices, I'm curious if you can talk about where taking refuge and taking refuge vows falls into the practice of the preliminary practices. And if it's not too much, if you would be willing to offer refuge vows today.
Oh, refuge, right?
So she's interested in beginning Nandro, the preliminary practices, and so she's wondering where refuge, like actually taking refuge vows, how does that fit in? Nandro, starting to do Nandro, and then also I guess requesting refuge vows.
Yeah, thank you. That's wonderful. But refuge, I don't. So refuge ceremony needs some kind of little bit ceremonial preparation. So I don't think I can do now today, but I can do sometimes if you're willing to come back, if it's not too far, and then we make the little arrangement, and I'm very happy to offer that. Okay, definitely.
Can you start practicing Nandro before?
Yes, you can do. And thinking of that, I'm going to take refuge with that. Refuge, essence of refuge is your confidence, your joy in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So when you have the confidence and the joy and in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, that is really the essence. That is really refuge. Because of that beautiful, that attitude, the connection to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, then we do the ceremony to confirm in a way blessings and also celebrate of your connections. And that is started from the Buddha, that 2,600 years ago. Gracious teacher gave that first, and then continually until now. So that is what the refuge. Then I'm happy to do with that little ceremony. Okay? Thank you, okay, thank you. Yeah? And one more then.
Thank you so much. I want to ask, what do you do when you feel your hungry ghost feelings?
What
do you do when you feel your hungry ghost feelings?
Hungry ghost feelings?
Like the quality of
Oh, yeah, hungry ghost feelings. I think so. You feel, oh, I'm really happy now. I don't need anything. Feel that. I'm happy, I'm full. I'm full, I don't need anything. So feel the fullness. Yeah, I think it's really that's it. Yeah, when the hungry goes to feeling, I think so that's it. I think it's really feel full. I think so. I really, otherwise I don't know what to tell you. But also, ever is something with the kind of like, oh, any desires or any food or anything that, then just feel this is not going to be enough. It has no end. And I'm going to stop here. Kind of have some willpower. Willpower, really, that's it. Is what they call it here. Enough is enough. Yeah, really feel that thought and kind of feel it's just now enough. Have that thought and also maybe do some, if it's okay with you or feel comfortable, pray to Buddha, Bodhisattva. May I have the courage, commitment, can keep the balance. Balance, strong thought. So those are things good. Okay, thank you everyone. Okay, thank you very much everyone. Thank you. I will do now this transmission of this. There's people ask to transmission of the Ngondro practice, and then transmission means this is a lineage teaching. This is not that I started or somebody started recently. It is really long-lasting lineage teaching, and that means that teaching that come from the Buddha 2,600 years ago, and now is continuing. So it is very special teachings, long-lasting lineage teachings. So as I receive this teaching from the lineage masters, or particularly from His Holiness Chabjib Dunyu Rinpoche, he has the teaching that said Dunyu Yagra Hidorji. He was one of the very famous masters in the 20th centuries, very famous teacher. And so he gave this teaching to us, or so many people, and I was one of the also recipients of the teaching as I received, and I also practiced it as much as I can. And so as I received, I give this transmission. So it's a long kind of lasting speech lineage, uninterruptedly continued that like sometimes in the teaching often said river of the lineage, uninterrupted river of the pure lineage teachings, stainless teachings. So that is teaching, and then that is this is the Ngondro, and then this is here. Yeah, this is. Oh yeah, this is. And then here asking, also you give that as the Buddha sadhana, transmission, blessing of the Buddha sadhana, and the Tara prayers, and the heart sutra. So I will do that too. Okay, so I do that. First I will do the Ngondro, okay? And now we all meditated. Now you know, you've been meditating, you know all that. So now you all meditated, feel the presence of the Buddha Shakyamuni as our shrine. And Gurupema Sambhava Tara, and all these mural paintings, even though they are like mural paintings, but really feel the strong presence of their living Buddha right now here, exactly as they are, with full of love and compassion and wisdom, emanating a lot of light and wisdom, compassion to you, to all beings, clear away all our obscurations, obstacles, hindrances, and bring us a clear path of the very beautiful life, peaceful life, fulfillment life. Kind of feel all those thoughts to benefit to every living being. Really wishing those beautiful intentions. Well, you all, we all that status. Then I will chant and give this transmission. No, this is the Buddha sadhana. It's very powerful practice of the Buddha. It's written by the great master Mahayana Rinpoche, in one of the very famous masters in the 19th century and also early 20th century. He was really one of the great masters, scholars, and he was one of the really famous in Buddhism, or Tibetan Buddhism. So his teaching, practice of the Buddha. Okay, thank you everyone. Okay, thank you everyone. Okay, thank you very much everyone. Thank you very much everyone coming in here and enjoying the places. Really thank you, and I'm very happy your enthusiasm, your joy, and your energetic energy to discover our spiritual values. All that Buddha teaching, wonderful, really. And wish you all the best, good health, joy, peace, and fulfillment in a life. Really beautiful. Keep climbing up with stable ladders, keep climbing up. Thank you, okay. Wish you that. Really, thank you, okay. Thank you everyone for coming in the best. Thank you. Thank you, our lamas and then all the assistants, help us, everyone support you. And then also, thank you very much for delicious food when you cooked. Really, so good. And then I'm kind of thinking always, what is tomorrow I'm going to have? Like, what is going tomorrow I'm going to have? So every day is something and brings delicious food. Thank you, okay. Really, thank you. Really.
Is it okay, Rinpoche? Can we get a group photo with you?
Okay, wonderful. I'm happy. Yeah, thank you. Really happy. Thank you.